Nintendo Entertainment Center don't believe the power. You will believe the control. Experience it for yourself. The next generation from Nintendo. Now you're playing with superpower.
Welcome back, Super Nintendo collectors. Alex here with another video. I hope you're well, guys. Now, how did you get on with the high score comp? Not many entered, but enough for me to carry on, because I think a lot of the fault was on my part. I didn't stream in the week. I didn't have time. Work got the better of me. And I just was so tired. But I did stream yesterday, but unfortunately it was an absolute disaster because the internet service I have here is so bad. But that hopefully is going to be sorted this week. Going to go for like 4 times the speed. And I'll be streaming a lot more games, especially arcade games as well. Especially after I just got over 500,000 on Robotron. Well chuffed to get that, guys. My next goal on Robotron is 1,000,000 points. I do know that it is the featured game on a 10p arcade podcast this week, so I'll be going for 1,000,000 points this week, definitely. Absolutely love that game. But yeah, I do apologise for the lag on the stream that I did in the week. It was really bad, but thanks for all those guys that tuned in and watched me. It was a lot of fun. And I managed to get a score up. Did you see the score I got? It was 175,000. And I thought, that's it, I've done it, I've won. No. Retro Dave come along and just clinched it with 190,000. Well done, Dave. But I did beat you in the end. I played again this morning and got over 200,000, which I'm going to show you in the video at the end of this. Tune in. I did beat you, but it doesn't count because the deadline is before this video goes out. So Dave, Retro Dave, you win, mate. Well done. It was a good game. I hope you all enjoyed it. There were 2 other entries, and that was from John Ball. He got 127,000. Well done, John. That's a great score. Did you get to level 3 with that score? I think you probably would have done. And Tony Breen, he got 33,000. Tony, what was you doing, mate? Did you get to end of level 1? More practice, mate, I think. But thank you so much for entering. It was great laugh, honestly. Really enjoyed it. And we're definitely going to do more. And with that, I might as well announce the next game, which we're going to do in the high school comp. And it's from Snes Steve, who wasn't able to enter. He was busy again. But he's definitely going to get a score up for this one. He has chosen Batman Returns, which I think is a fantastic side-scrolling beat-em-up with a high score challenge to it. And again, guys, we're just going to do normal. Put it on normal, 3 lives, no continues. There's no point playing if you're just going to continue, because it is just a bit of fun. This is a fantastic game by Konami. Did this get a Mega Drive port? I don't think it did. Anyway, it's not going to look as good on the Mega Drive because the Mega Drive doesn't have as many colours, does it? It's only got 64, is it? I think the Super Nintendo has 256, is that right? Sega Zombie? But let's not get into console wars. No, let's. I'm enjoying that. So yeah, Batman Returns. Just go into the options and basically just leave it as it is. Game level normal, lives free, okay? And that's it. Alright, so that is the game that you need to get your high score points on. And you can put your points, your high score point on my Facebook page, which is Ninty Arcade. I'll put a link to in the video below. I'll post a picture of the game. Just put your score in below. Or you can send me an email to nintendoarcade@ymail.com. Again, I'll put it in the video below. Or you can tweet me, but usually the tweets do get lost. But again, that's Nintendo Arcade on Twitter. But I don't use Twitter that much, to be honest with you. Best way to contact me is email, nintendoarcade@ymail.com, or on my Facebook page, Ninty Arcade. Okay, guys, just go there and put your high score up. You've got to have it in by this time in 2 weeks' time. So not next Sunday, but the Sunday after, okay? And the game is Batman Returns. Fantastic game. But just going back to Raiden Trad, what did you guys think of it? The guys that did play it. I mean, I played Raiden Trad on my Jammer Cab back in my old place. And for me, this is about as far as shoot 'em ups go in terms of bullet hell. I don't like bullet hell games. I find them just really boring. Just holding down the fire button, although you can do that in this, but there's not so many bullets, and I find bullet hell like it's just like a dodge 'em up, really. That's all it is. You're just dodging bullets, looking at bullets, and not really looking at the ship and the artwork of all the pixel art. You know, you just get lost in all the bullets, and I just find it too much. And I find that the old school shoot 'em ups a lot more skill, because I just find like every bullet counts, especially games like Gallagher, you know, the really old school ones. But Raiden is a great game. I think, you know, for me, this is about as far as it gets, shoot 'em up wise. I have played Raiden Jet. That's not bad, but again, you're sort of on the borders of sort of bullet hell, really. But this is not a bad conversion. It's obviously a little bit slower than the arcade game. It's a little bit sparse in places, like there's areas where there's not a lot going on. You're just waiting for stuff to come. But in terms of like graphics, it's good. Not much slowed down, a little bit on the end of level bosses, but not enough really, you know, like, I don't know, R-Type on the Snes is notorious for slowdowns, really bad. But this is not a bad conversion, music's really good, and it's definitely a game I'm going to go back to. So guys, what did you think of this game? I thought it was pretty cool. Again, have a look at the video of me playing this at the end of this video. I've got over 200,000, which is a pretty good score. Also, you can play 2 players at this, which is great, you know, if you're in the arcade, get that much further. So yeah, really, really cool, really chuffed with that. So yeah, just have a sip of my Coke, guys. It's funny, the old Super Nintendo, I do love the old console wars, but a question I wanted to ask you guys, and it's been kind of something I thought about a lot when I had the Super Nintendo back in the day, because I saw the games my brother was getting on the Mega Drive, and I was thinking, oh, I'd love to have that on the Super Nintendo. So I've got a question for you guys. If there was a game that you would like to have seen ported to the Super Nintendo, which was on the Mega Drive, what would it be? And just to make it a little bit harder, try not to make it a Sega game, like a first party game like Sonic or Outrun. Let's think of third-party games from, I don't know, Capcom, Konami, Electronic Arts, anything but Sega if you can. Alright, if you're a real Sega Sonic the Hedgehog fan, then that's what it is. That's what you'd like to have seen on Super Nintendo. But for me, I would have liked to have seen a game like Road Rash, because I absolutely loved that game on the Mega Drive. You know, I loved motorbikes back in the day, and just the thought of smashing other bikers off the road, it was just so appealing. It was such a great game. I love the music to that as well. So guys, here's the question for you. What game would you like to have seen ported to the Super Nintendo which didn't get a release, but it did on the Sega Mega Drive? You maybe could swap that around for next time's video. You know, what game would you, Super Nintendo, would you have liked to have seen on the Mega Drive? But for this video, what Sega Mega Drive game would you have liked to seen ported to the SNES? Anyway, pickups, guys. Not many this week. Only 2. But one really interesting game here that someone sent me a link to and I didn't know anything about. It's by Pico Games, but it's not an unreleased game or a hack or anything like that. It's actually a game that's been developed for Super Nintendo in recent years. And it's only just been sort of made in sort of a physical release. And it's Dork and Imp, and it's made by a Swedish company. I think the only Swedish company that's made any games for Super Nintendo, which is quite unusual. And I was reading a little bit of the story behind this game, that it's really hard to get hold of the dev kits for Super Nintendo. There's only a few people that have the dev kits, and there's not many homebrew games coming out for the Super Nintendo, which is a real shame. You know, because you've got Spectrum and the Vectrex, there's loads of people making games for those systems still today, and I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I would love to see more homebrew games coming for the Super Nintendo, because for me, you know, the Super Nintendo is the pinnacle of 16-bit graphics and art, and you know, with such a great system like Super Nintendo, there's just not enough people doing it, which is a real shame. But this game, picked this up for, what was it, 35 quid? Not much. It was on eBay. It's in new condition, really. Is a little side-scrolling platformer. Really cute graphics. Got this little imp guy. Well, it looks like a little, what do you call it? Little elf, and he's got a little imp that flies above him that sort of helps him over sort of big areas you can't jump normally. He sort of picks you up and he flies you across. And he also fires stuff at the enemies as well, which are like bunny rabbits. A bit too cutey for me, but it plays really well. The music's really nice. There's a little shop in it as well. You can go in and get little upgrades. Done the first level and thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good little game. I'm definitely going to go back to this. So this is it. It's Dork and Imp. I'll just show you inside, guys. The only thing I find annoying with these new boxes is they've got these little slits here on the side that stop you getting the flap out easy. And the whole point of having that purple mark here is to show you that's the end to take the flap out the game out on the original boxes. But this one's got these little indents here that stops you pulling it out nice and easy. So you end up sort of creasing the end of the box, which is really annoying. So the game cart, it's obviously a repro cart, it's not an original cart. It's got the artwork on there, Pico game. So this is not like a repro of any other game. This is like a homebrew game made onto a, you know, on a ROM set in a cart, which is really cool. You've got the manual, which is really nice. It's got a really nice back story about the company here. It tells you all about the Swedish company who made the game and developing the game. And you know, I guess it's a little bit of Swedish folklore in this game. Or Norwegian, I think it's Norwegian or Swedish. Anyway, it's Scandinavian, it's all the same to me. Sorry guys. But yeah, some really cool artwork in here. Look at this. I really do like the manual. I wish they'd make, I think if they made games for Super Nintendo today, the manuals would be a lot better. It would take a lot more time over them. And for me, that is a massive part of collecting for any system really. Physical copies is the artwork that you get with it. And that's another reason why I chose the American system over PAL and over the Japanese, because I like looking at the manual and I like reading about the game in the manual. You can't obviously do that with Japanese Super Famicom games, and PAL games are obviously a lot slower and you get less of a screen. So for me, that was the route I took with the American games. I just thought it's the only way really to get the most out of the system. You get the manual, you get to read, and you get the game at the right speed. And back in the day, guys, you know, there were import games in the shop. I mean, I never had any preference over really PAL or Japanese games or American. We had the converter we had back in the day, and we stuck that in, and we stuck our import games in there, and we played on the system. You know, it didn't matter what game. I'd never had any preference over PAL or American, none at all. You know, so for me, like nostalgia-wise, it doesn't really matter. It's the game that I'm nostalgic about, not really the region, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's a cool game. The next game, I've already opened it up. I've had it out already because this is probably my third take. Is Prince of Persia. This for me feels like playing Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raider. You know, so you've got to get everything spot on. You've got it right on the edge of that block, and you've got to be facing the right angle to jump across the next block. It's very fiddly to play. Back in the day, I loved it. It was quite a neat game, and the way the animation of the character jumps and move was quite a lot for its time. Climbing up the wall, jumping, but you had to time it just right. You know, his jumps were a certain distance, and if you got that a little bit too far, jump over the top of the next block and you're a history, you're on a load of spikes. And so for me, this is a hard game to go back to, but I have had a bit of enjoyment out of it. And the great thing is, the guy who ever owned this before has left all the codes. I'm sure you can find them on the internet. But it's got all the codes here, so I'm going to jump straight to level 18 and have a look. So I don't think I got past level 5 back in the day. But yeah, really nice game to have in the collection. Obviously the Japanese box art is a lot better than the American. Oh look, it's got a nice little advertisement for Castlevania hint book on the back, which is cool. Not a lot in the manual, just a few screenshots showing you how to jump over things. enemies and whatnot you're going to encounter. Little introduction there. But yeah, it's not a bad game by Konami, by all means. So yeah, another nice little game to add to the collection. So yeah, that's it guys on the games. So yeah, so next week, we've already mentioned, haven't we, Batman Returns. Get your scores up on my Facebook page or email me. I'm really looking forward to that, and I will stream every Wednesday or Thursday night. I can't say exactly because sometimes I'm working over, but definitely Wednesday or Thursday night I'll do a live stream of Batman Returns. And guys, join in with the conversation. It's always great to have a chat on there and see what you think of my gameplay, which is pretty awful. I'm not a great gamer, but I try my best. So that's it guys, that's it for this week. Another short little Snes video, but hopefully more often. And I'll be getting another video up very soon of my NES pickups. Got loads to show you there, and also I'm going to be streaming Robotron as well for the 10pence Arcade Podcast High School Comp, so have a look out for that. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one, and get those scores up. Right, so here we go guys, so just showing my configurations. Hero free, bomber free, level normal. Oh, exit. Raiden Trad, here we go guys. Got to try and beat Dave's score. I'm going to go for the red, because that's what I think is best. I want to max out my ship for the end of level boss. If I get past that, I'll get a 5,000 point bonus. I think you get a bonus as well if you don't use your bombs, but that's pretty difficult guys. It's not as fast as the arcade, but it's adequate enough. Doesn't seem to witness any slowdown, not as far as I can see. No, I think I'm maxed out now. So I can keep this up. Fairly easy to destroy these. So I think I'm maxed out there. Should get a 5,000 bonus there. 28,000 bonus. 62,000 so far. Gonna have to use bombs on this level at the end. It's just too hard. Get that one up. Nice bonuses there. Picking them up, picking them up. Oh shit, I thought I was dead then. Come at the side. Got to watch those side ones, right, in a level boss. Got to use those bombs, got to use those bombs. Yes, done him. Wow. Dave, I think I'm gonna beat you, boy. $166,000. I don't think I've completed this level, so if I can do this, this will be brilliant. Come at the side. Got to watch those ones at the side, guys. When you got all your firepower on the screen, it does you get lost a little bit. $200,000. Still got 4 lives, still haven't died yet. Dave. Level, should I use those bombs? I've got 2 bombs. Shit, I died. Didn't see it. Is it game over for me now? Oh, I died again. I don't think I'm going to do it. I haven't got enough firepower here. No. Bomb. One more, come on. No, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Oh, 238,550. That is it.